Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 4th to the 10th of May 2015. We begin the week with a very powerful full moon in Scorpio, and this for me is often one of the most powerful full moons of the year. So Scorpio being opposite Taurus, well, with the sun going through Taurus, we're all embracing nature and the green, heart-centred beauty and the presence of now that this beautiful month can bring. And the sun going through Taurus gets us very well connected with all of that lovely trees and herbs and nature and food and music and harmony, and it's a very blissful time. But right opposite, the full moon in Scorpio comes along, and as every full moon does, brings stuff up from the depths. The Scorpio is all to do with dying to the old self to be reborn to the new. So it's the time of Halloween, it's when we go into the dark places, when we become our own therapist, our own psychotherapist, and go in and have a look at what's going on the inside. But this can be a little bit of a shock or a depth charge, just at the time when we're all making merry and we're all enjoying the spring sunshine and flowers. So Scorpio full moon coming along, anything that comes up from beneath, it's within you, it's not something to be afraid of because it's part of you. But what happens is that our inner magnet, our subconscious, can often draw to us experiences so that we can see what's going on the inside. So full moons will do that, they'll bring things into our vision, and this can be through other people. Imagine it like a cameo in a play. Somebody comes along and represents something, and that pulls something out of you. That person isn't therefore to blame, they're merely a helper, a messenger and an actor in your play. So whatever is touched inside of you, whatever's pulled out, the key here is to go inside first rather than projecting and blaming outwards onto the messenger or the other player. So Scorpio is our deep subconscious, it's what's going on the inside. We're very much here at this time to sort all of that stuff out, because anything that's repressed will just keep attracting to us and keep adding to the collective field of repression. So if we want to clean up the world, we need to start by cleaning up ourselves first. So an incredible, powerful Scorpio full moon on Monday, but that's also in effect with Pluto retrograde, and Pluto rules Scorpio. So Pluto is the very guardian of the gateways of the underworld, shown in the Hermit card and the Death card in Tarot, that takes us into the underworld, that we have to light our own way like the Hermit and actually go in willingly and have a look around. So once we actually apply the Tarot with astrology, we start to see through the sacred imagery the message and the job that needs to be done and the meaning of it all. So we need to light our way, go on a willing journey into the underworld, have a look at anything that's hanging around on the inside and bring it to light. And this requires bravery, but also gentleness. People think bravery is all about being strong and fighting and projecting outwards, but bravery is actually being brave enough to go there and not run away, not distract ourselves and not try and fool ourselves. So with this Scorpio full moon, with Pluto retrograde going inwards as well, there's really no reason why not, because we have all the strength and all the ability to go in and do that work. On top of that, we also have Mercury beginning its retrograde phase. So basically by that, it's not going to be retrograde until the 19th, but we've gone over the point that Mercury will retrograde back to. So this again is an inwards, it's an exploratory. Mercury in Gemini is all about exploring the mind, the thoughts, the words and the actions, that chain of belief that leads to creating our reality. So Scorpio full moon, Pluto retrograde and Mercury retrograde beginning in Gemini, then whatever's inside will come out, because Mercury has a way of suddenly revealing things that have been hiding. We can say the wrong thing, we can send the wrong email, we can be overheard by somebody, we can overhear somebody else, we can get these bits of information that would normally be hidden to us. So there could be strange ways that information is brought to us. It's very much a case of listening. We've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so it's very good with Gemini, who's here to learn how to listen in order to be a good communicator. This is going to be a very deep listening phase if we can tune in on Monday. It doesn't have to be painful or frightening. It's you talking to you and healing you. So very good healing there. Pluto is the transformer, dying to the base to raise to the crown. And Mercury, the caduceus, is even the symbol of the healing profession, with the staff, which is your backbone, and the two snakes, the Ida and the Pingala, going up to open up the winged disc, which is the pineal gland. So we've got a story of true bravery and alchemy coming along with this Scorpio full moon on Monday. The week then settles down a little bit. I feel that we've got time to figure out what has come up, because with a retrograde period we've got from now till the 19th to actually see what comes up. And then on the 19th, when Mercury turns retrograde, we have a phase where we can actually go and make those corrections, because we are empowered to do that. And then when Mercury turns direct again, and that will be on the 12th of June, then we've got the chance to see that those changes, those recalibrations inside, have made a difference, and our life has changed, and we're older and wiser, brighter and lighter as a result. So we're going on a journey here, triggered by the Scorpio full moon, assisted and lit by Pluto retrograde, and with some very intriguing and sometimes probably quite funny revelations with Mercury retrograde in Gemini. Progressing into the week, we have a couple of other bits and pieces going on. We have the moon conjunct Saturn on Tuesday, so this actually tells us that we need to be able to know ourselves and then apply that knowledge. So it's great going in and doing that inspection, but if we kind of then say, oh, that's done then, and we don't make any changes, we don't start to apply that to our lives, then we'll just have to do everything again next time. So it's a day of wisdom, really, wisdom and knowing and reflecting on what is really true to us and how we can then start to apply what we've learnt to our way of living. There's a story of worth here as well, so we're really starting to strip back now. We've had a good 6 months of inner investigation, and this full moon is just kind of putting the icing on the cake of that. But the story has been about to really know ourselves and to get into connection with what's really worth it for us. A lot of our energy is given out. We're very encouraged to always be rushing around, doing for others, healing others, doing projects and everything on the outside, and planning for the future, and avoiding the very thing that we're here to explore, which is our core self. So we get pulled back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into that self-knowing, the application of what we're learning, yes, but then even go further and say, well, am I even doing what matters to me, or am I just doing for the sake of doing? So a very deep week in that respect. By Thursday, Friday, we then have Venus going into Cancer. And the thing with Cancerians is they're ruled by the moon, and the moon takes a cycle of the zodiac every month. So they literally go on a roller coaster of emotions, experiencing the emotions of each sign for 2.5 days in every month. But if the lessons aren't learnt from this, it's just a hedonistic experience, it's just feeling for the sake of feeling, then you're going round and round in circles. So Venus in Cancer will be a good opportunity for us to actually find the worth of the emotion. Big story about worth, like I say, this week. Are we just feeling for the sake of feeling? Are we falling into the quicksand of sympathy and just projecting our feelings onto others and feeling bad for ourselves and feeling bad for others? Or are we actually structuring our feelings and deciding which feelings expand us and which feelings contract us? The expansive ones can definitely stay, and the contractive ones, that's what we need to go and explore. Is that feeling even ours in the first place? Because many of our feelings are conditioned through films and literature and music. The violin starts playing and we start feeling sad. That's not our sadness, that's actually programmed. So are we wallowing? Are we just feeling for the sake of experiential feeling? Are we just saying, well, that's what makes me feel alive, without this I would be dead inside? Or are we actually able to say, well, okay, let me be the master of my feelings? when a situation arises, let me check how I'm feeling, let me check whether that's real, whether it's mine or programmed, and what is the best way that I can actually be empowered with my feelings to explore and expand out of this situation. So very deep on there, a couple of weeks there with Venus in Cancer, exploring the value of feelings. Are they serving us or are they dragging us down from some kind of program and habit? By Friday, the core value carries on. There's a really powerful aspect here to actually know yourself, to really get to the bottom of whatever the full moon brought up, to be true to yourself, so that we're breaking the patterns of any relationships, arguments, or any injustices that we're attracting into our life, any situations where we may feel the victim or we may be blaming others. This is really brought to the core on Friday with the moon meeting Pluto in an awkward alignment. So checking there whether our thoughts and our feelings are actually true, whether they're in alignment with us, whether they're serving us, and whether there's some fundamental changes that can be made so that we're stood on more solid ground and we can stand up for ourselves. And then by the weekend, it's like the sun breaks through the clouds. I feel that this whole weekend is going to be about life purpose. We start to see that once we get over ourselves, once we've done all this tidying up, once we've gone and done the inner exploration, then our very view of ourselves begins to change. So if we think of life purpose, if we think of our life and our plan, most people will jump straight into the physical. What am I doing here? What do I want to achieve? What job should I be having? What relationship should I be having? What effect should I be seeing back and reward? But by the weekend, we may want to be asking ourselves on a higher, cleaner, deeper, inner level, what did my soul come here to do? What's the bigger picture here? What am I here to contribute to in this age? If I've lived many lifetimes, then it's got to be a bit more than about jobs and money and relationships and recognition. There's got to be more to life than that. So with the moon going into Aquarius and forming a wonderful grand trine in air, we have a chance to balance that aspect of our life out, to see ourselves across multiple lifetimes, and to actually tune into life purpose, maybe even letting go of the doing. Because your life purpose could be to resonate a certain frequency once you've cleaned yourself up. You may be an activator, you may be an enlightener, you may be an uplifter, just by being you. So the whole point of doing all this shadow work, all this inner work, is once we're cleaner and brighter on the inside, we start to influence others. We start to be a lead by example, a bright light, somebody that just literally uplifts other people by being around them and helping light their way and helping them to do their work as well. We're not here to do other people's work, but we certainly can be an example, and we can certainly light the way and raise the vibration. So on Saturday, after a very deep initiation week of going in with Pluto and the Scorpio moon, in with retrograde Mercury and in with Cancer Venus, can we come out the other side a little bit more expanded, looking at ourselves as a soul, looking at ourselves as a light being, an energy being, and what effect we're having on those around us and what we're contributing to in general by our beingness. So really a very, very big week. I hope we're all rested up from last week where we got some time to play and to stop and smell the roses, because this week there's a lot of work to be done, but go willingly, go bravely, and know that it's you healing you. And be gentle with yourself, be true to yourself, and by the end of the week you might even be seeing your soul self begin to shine through. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. I want to say big thanks to everybody that came on the tree walk on Saturday. It was really wonderful. We had a dog turn up at each tree that seemed to be the spirit of the tree, just come running up, the same colour, same attitude, for a little bit of fuss. We had a look at about 13 of the major trees with a wonderful 2.5 hour walk round Hampstead Heath. bathed in the green energies, and I really love these walks. There are more to come. The next one's on the 20th of June, so please do contact me if you're interested in that. And I think by the end of the summer I'll probably be making a video for those of you that can't make it, so that you can do your own tree recognition in whatever town or country that you live in. So big thanks to those that came on the tree walk. That was really blissful. I have a couple of workshops coming up next week. The herbalism one, my big theme for May, is making all of your own products. So I have a lovely little small meetup group in my place in Camden on the 15th of May, and we won't be able to learn how to make everything, but whoever comes will be able to get to contribute to what it is that we're going to be making, and that can be beauty products, cleaning products, medicine, perfume, all sorts of essences, magical essences. So there'll be a right old mixture there, maybe a rescue remedy or two for anybody that'd like to come along on the 15th of May to my Taurus Herbal workshop. Other news this week, I'm actually going to be holding a meetup group on the middle Wednesday of each month in Camden, and that's a general astrology and tarot safe space to explore kind of thing. Used to run a class where we looked at the astrology coming up and how to work with it, and then we'd do some readings or some work with crystals or a meditation. So I'm actually going to be starting a monthly group for anybody that's missed the class that we used to have, and that's going to be on the middle Wednesday, so that will be on the 13th of May. And for those that can't make it, because I'm very aware that we're spread all over the world here, the really exciting news is over the course of this month I will be starting a membership group online, a closed Facebook group with a subscription of £5 a month, where we can actually post topics, we can have some lively conversation, we can have some questions and answers, and I might even be making some special content just for that group. So if you're missing out on all the London-based stuff, then I would really love to connect with you across the ether in a closed group membership section, where for just £5 a month we can all ask those questions, we can all get that inspiration, and we can all share. So I'm feeling very excited about that, and watch this space. So finally, if you would like a reading or to do any of my courses, they're still available, all of them always up there, astrozo.com. You can contact me, zoehine7@gmail.com. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to connecting with you.